So far, we have looked at validity and reliability in assessment design. So let's move on now to fairness. Fairness simply refers to no bias against particular groups of people for a particular purpose or decision to be made. It is not so much equality of outcomes, but equality of opportunity. So assessment is said to be biased if two students with equal ability in the construct being measured, let's say English writing, but because they come from different groups, for example, different SES background, they do not have the same probability of success. So assessment bias is defined as the presence of one or more items in a test that offend or unfairly penalize students because of their personal characteristics. And this impacts validity of any inference we can make regarding the student's ability based on the test. There are several sources of assessment bias that we should be aware of: racial and ethnic, gender bias, and SES. Let's take a look at this primary science question and notice what could be an issue in terms of fairness. Would you agree that the source of assessment bias could be SES? So pupils who have not experienced ice skating may be disadvantaged by such a question. I'd like to leave you with this case scenario for your food for thought. This was shared to me by my master's student when we were discussing fairness in assessment. So my master's student help out at the student care center regularly. She meets up with this P6 student who takes Malay language at the standard level and at the foundation level for the other subjects. So when the PSLE results were released, the student actually did very well for Malay, but not so well for the other subjects. So question here is, why was the P6 student unable to perform well for math and science? Was it really because she was not proficient in those subjects? Or was it because the medium of instruction was in English? And was the paper for math and science also testing English language proficiency? And because of her less privileged SES background, she could have been unfairly penalized because of her lack of proficiency in the English language. In this activity, you will have the opportunity to apply your understanding of validity, reliability, and fairness. Here you are presented with different case scenarios that could happen along each stage of the assessment process for summative purposes. You are to identify the possible threats to validity, reliability, and fairness, as well as identify possible precautions to take to ensure quality in assessment design.